Hi friends, today I'm training on a new kata, Coding Meetup number 16, higher order function series, ask for missing details. This is actually the last kata in the series, so really happy for closing this series, for finishing it. And so that means tomorrow we are going to start just either a new series or just solving random katas. So that's like can't wait for that. All right, but we still have this like final kata to solve, and it's not an easy one. It's one of the harder ones, but that's like perfect for finishing it, right? So as always, let's check out the description first. So we are given a list again, and in this list this time we have some missing details. They're encoded as null values. You can see first name null for this person from Argentina. And what we have to do, we have to first of all filter out all the people who have all their details, right? We don't have to do anything with those, so they are filtered out. The second step is add a property question which says, hi, could you please provide your, and then the property name, right? So that's this, like either of those won't be a very big challenge, but like both of these combined, it's a bit harder than usual. Okay, so I think we are ready. Let's move to our tests. Okay, as always. Again, I am importing my expect, and I get this expect from Chai assertion library. Second thing, what I'm doing, I am replacing vars with consts, right? Here we go. Third step, I am actually creating my describe statement. So describe, this time it's going to be ask for missing details, right? So in the describe block, I am writing two it blocks because I am going to have two tests. So works with list 1, and the other one will be works with list 2. So first of all, let me just grab this answer 1, and I'm going to grab this whole thing, and I'm going to paste it right here. Let me indent that. Oops. Here we go. It's all looks all right now. So instead of answer 1, I'm going to rename it to expected. Okay, I'm more used to that. Just trying to train you how I think. So expect ask for missing details given list 1 to be equal to expected. And you can see that this pattern, like expect to be equal to expected, we have that a lot, right? I'm not going to rewrite this time this whole thing. I'm just going to copy it and paste it again. Just change works with list 2 instead of list 1, and let me check how Oh, so answer 2 is actually an empty array. Right. So expected is empty array this time, and list 1 is list 2. So I have both of my tests ready. So first of all, the first one is, since we have like look 2 missing details, first name right here and language right here. In the second list we don't have any null values, so we should basically have an empty array. So I don't need this one, and I don't need this one. Yep, looks all good. Oh, this one too. So looks all good. I think all the tests are good. Let's try to run examples to just make sure that the tests are working. And expected undefined to deeply equal empty array, expected undefined to deeply equal an array of 2 elements. Okay, so we are ready to move to the actual solution. Let me just first write down my ideas, okay? So first of all, like step 1, filter out the items with all the details. Okay, and step 2, add the question property, and just in addition to that, like 2.1, find out what property is missing. Okay, so we do that actually in basically 2 steps. Just first step is going to be filter, right? And the second step is going to be map. Why filter and why map? Look, so filter removes some elements from an array. That's exactly what we want. Second step, map, is we just modify or like create a new list and replace the old list, create a new object and replace the old object with this new one, which has an additional property. Okay, so let's try to write that down. So const ask for missing details is equal a, which is like our array, and this time, just to make it very easy to read, I'm just breaking filter to a new line. So filter, I'm giving v for value. How do I filter those items which are like all set? I think the easiest one is just I mean, filter actually, you have to return true if you want to leave the element, right? And you have to return false if you want to filter it out. So I want to select, like, return true for elements which have something missing, right? So how do I find missing properties? My idea is to first of all get all the keys and then try to check if any of those have like corresponding missing value. Okay, let me show you how I do that. So object keys, this one gives me all the keys of this v object, right? So that's an array of keys. I need an array just to map it, like not map it, but just use array functionality on it. I want to make sure that at least some of them are undefined. Perfect, there is a sum method, like that's perfect for us. Then I have key, so I'm just using k here to represent the key. But the key itself is not going to be undefined. I cannot do something like that. I cannot check if key is null. Sorry, not undefined, null. it has to be null. So I cannot check if k is null. I have to check if the value of this k is null, right? So that's our object, and I'm selecting this property, and I'm checking if the actual value, so this one is like actual value, if the value is null, right? So I have filtered out all the ones which have everything set. So at least some of them must be null. Okay, I'm sure that there's just going to be one of them, but you know, if that like specs change in the future, this sum is going to be like working perfectly. The second one, I want to update this object, right, to replace it with a new object which has this extra question property. So what do? Map is perfect for us in this case. Again, I have v, and I'm returning a new object, right? So I'm returning a new object like so. First of all, I have to retain all the previous values, right? So I'm spreading out this, not like the structure of the object. I have to retain it. So I'm spreading out what I have right here. This v, it's all spread out, but that's a new object. Okay, so I'm returning a new object. I am updating, or replacing or introducing, basically upserting a new property called question. And I'm absolutely sure that at least something is going to be undefined, because look, we have filtered out everything that does not have the undefined. So I say, hi, could you please provide your... Okay, so that's the easy part. Now is the hard part. How do I find out what is missing? You won't believe it, but object keys is going to help me this time too. So I'm using template strings, and I get object dot keys, get the keys from this v object. Okay, so I have again an array of keys. Now I have to find one of them, and the rule is their v k is equal to null. So this rule right here, callback, is absolutely the same. We could have like created a new function and used this new function just for this, but that's such a small function that you know, it's up to you. You can do it one or the other. It's I don't care. I'm just using two different functions, rewriting, and the code is not like very dry. It could be drier, but I would have to introduce a new function, and I wanted to solve it in one line, so I'm making this sacrifice for it. So that looks like it's solid, but it's not. It should have to add this dot before the end. Now it's all good. I don't need the comments anymore. Can delete them. And I have this very nice structure. You can like perfectly see it's filter, then second step it's map. The problem with this code is it's not super performant, right? So you're just looping over it 4 times. First of all, like it's filter, then it's map, then it's object keys. I have to, it's not like perfectly, the sum is not like not looping over hold it. It has some optimizations, the same for find, but still it's not very performant. It's not, sorry, not 4 times, that does not make any sense, but still twice at least. Okay, so what could we do? We could solve that with reduce. The code would look like rather similar, but I just wanted to make sure that what's would be a bit more functional way. This is like a bit more functional way to solve this exercise. Have two functions, one after the other, and feeding the map function from what we got out of the filter. So that's good. We could, as I said, we could solve that with reduce. I think we would write a little bit more code with reduce, but still it's gonna be like really similar. So let me run examples. Looks like there's an error, and the error is because by default it's not using Babel. Let's try again. And it takes so much time. So much time. Come on. Maybe like Codewars is broken. I'm not sure. Let me, you know what? Let me just try to rerun it, because that's like obviously stuck. So I'll just try the official solution. Just don't want to risk it for it to be stuck like twice. And looks like all the tests have passed. So I hope that you enjoyed the series. I hope that you liked what I hope that you learned something, and I hope to see you in the next kata. I'm going to just research something. If you would like to see something harder or easier or more fundamental, or more like, explanatory or less explanatory, let me know in the comments. And see you in the next kata. Bye, friends.